The Amazing Spider-Man film was released in 2012, and like most movies during this time, a video game was released for it. Though Spider-Man has always had video games, I'm going to be focusing on the 3DS version of this game. Oh, the good old days.
Time for some discipline.
The Amazing Spider-Man was developed by Benix and released just a month after the movie. The game is meant to be an alternative epilogue to the cinematic movie featuring Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man, releasing for almost every console that was popular during the time. Months after the experiment of Dr. Connors, Peter Parker and Gwen start to investigate rumors on Oscorp continuing cross-species experiments. They're discovered by Oscorp's director, Alistair Smythe, as he confirms that the rumors are true. He gives them a tour around the facility and the cross-species start reacting to Peter, who is also a cross-species. With the outbreak of different species, Gwen and Smythe get infected by the cross-species virus. Why did you push me out of the way? And why did Peter watch Gwen get chomped? Suddenly, we suit up and we have to make our way out. As we're heading out, cross-species are also making their escape into the city. We get Gwen to the quarantine room, and it's up to us to get help from Dr. Connors to create a cure for the virus. Now creatures are appearing over the city, and for whatever reason, a giant robot appears to fight Spider-Man. We take down the robot, and we head to the doctor's cell to break him out of jail. Geez, Peter, you couldn't ask first? We find controls to the cells, and a guard shoots his taser at us, since we're technically breaking out an inmate, missing us and hitting the panel, leading to all the inmates escaping from their cells. The guard asks us to help him take care of the inmates.
Help me! I have to help you? You tased me, bro.
Peter, you do realize we're in the wrong here, right? We take care of the inmates, and one of the inmates that escapes is Felicia, aka Black Cat. I hope we don't see her anytime soon. We fight more inmates and eventually get Connors out, bringing him to our apartment to work on an antidote.
Guess we should see if we made the news.
They turn on the news to find out that the police are searching for both Spider-Man and Connors since their escape from prison. We get a call from Gwen, and she doesn't trust Dr. Connors since he is the one that killed her father.
You broke him out of prison?
It's a mental facility.
Peter says it's the best chance they have at getting a cure and saving her along with the others. However, the research Dr. Connors needs is still at Oscorp, so we have to go get it for him. We sneak our way into the facility, and we have to stop the guards from moving the secret convoy from destroying the research. We encounter a guard who's acting pretty sus, and is taking photos of anything having to do with Oscorp. We catch the culprit, and it's Whitney Chang.
Well, good to know you like to be on top, but I don't usually go this far on a first date.
Anyways, Whitney is here to find leads on the conspiracy behind Oscorp's experiments for her next story.
Intruder!
What the heck are you doing?
I'm in uniform. I can play my role, not play yours. It's Spider-Man!
Whoa, was that necessary?
Come on, Spider-Man. Aren't you gonna fight back?
Man, shut up!
After we take care of them, Whitney asks us to take pictures of Oscorp boxes for her since we swiped her camera away. Whitney eventually gets caught, and we have to save her. After saving her, we get to the convoy to stop it from being destroyed. Whitney starts searching for our research, and we have to protect her from the guards.
Got it!
Did you get shot?
That gunfire, my screaming, this limp. Yeah, I got shot.
We carry her to the exit and ask her for our research. She says she'll hand it over on one condition. We keep the camera and we keep taking pictures for her. So she basically wants us to do her job for her. We get back to Connors and wait a minute. Who bought all this stuff?
Where'd you get the money? I used the credit card. Credit card?
We try to call Gwen, but instead Smythe picks up the phone. Smythe is skeptical of Spider-Man since he is a wanted fugitive, and he snuck into Oscorp headquarters. Smythe says he has a cure with the nanobots he's been working on. He offers Spider-Man the benefit of the doubt, however, and says that if he can get the cure before the completion of his nanobots, then he is free to try to cure those who are infected.
We're running out of time. Hurry, Peter.
So all Connors needs now is a DNA sample from one of the cross species. So we head for the sewers. That's a big dog. We find the lizard man we've been chasing and get a sample of his blood. Suddenly we're attacked by an Oscorp robot, but we easily defeat it. We get back to Connors again with the sample and call Gwen to see how things are going.
Oh my god! He's convulsing!
He's having a seizure.
No, he's changing!
That's tough. Connors finishes the cure and hands it to Peter. However, we don't know if it'll work. We get back to Oscorp and give the cure to Gwen. However, Smythe takes it, explaining he should be the one to take it. He injects himself, but his leg stops working. It would appear the cure has failed. He then blames us for it, and Gwen is a little upset about it. Now drones are out to attack us, we then have to fight our way out, and we encounter Scorpion at the end. We defeat Scorpion, and on our way back to Connors, a giant robot comes out to attack us again. What's with all the mechs in this game? We defeat the mech, and we're upset with Connors because the cure didn't work. Spider-Man takes a nap to then wake up to Connors telling him that he's made a perfect cure using Peter's blood.
You what?
We get a call from Gwen as she needs help to get away from Smythe. Testing the nanobots on the infected members, she gets discovered by bots and we lose connection. We get another phone call from Whitney Chang asking us to rescue a district attorney that has been kidnapped. Can he wait for a little while? We have to save our girlfriend. Previously on The Amazing Spider-Man.
You tased me, bro.
See if we made the news.
You broke him out of person?
It's a mental facility.
Well, good to know you like to be on top, but I don't usually go this far on a first date.
Man, shut up! Get shot?
Ugh, that gunfire, my screaming, this limp. Yeah, I got shot.
That's tough. We beat up some more people after solving a few more puzzles. We saved the scientists from being attacked by the Oscorp bots, which begs the question, why didn't they just shut down the robots if they knew they were going to attack cross-species? We hand over the cure to the scientists and we continue our search for Gwen.
I'm here now. I have the cure, and it works. Gwen? Gwen? No, you can't do this. I saved you.
Jeez, I guess Gwen is just destined to die.
That is the cheesiest speech I've ever heard.
Oh wait, she's alive. Why are you so dramatic? Gwen tells us that Smythe disappeared after sending robots to attack us. Gwen decides to go to the police to explain the situation, and we head back to Connors. This game is very repetitive when it comes to visiting the doctor. Connors is working on expanding the production of the cure, and he tells us to check the news. Some criminals are taking over a bank and the police forces are thin due to the virus outbreak.
Don't kill me.
Hey boss, we got cops all over the place. There's no way out.
I thought the police force was thin. How did they have this place surrounded? We beat up some bad guys to chase after black cats.
Did you get a boo-boo?
Is all this necessary to rob a bank? We head down the subway and fight Black Cat.
Maybe I could be part of your little animal kingdom. Tell me how.
No.
After defeating Black Cat, we turn her in and we get back to our apartment. What the heck happened here? The doctor is nowhere to be found. Suddenly another robot attacks us and we defeat them. We get an ominous call. And they know that Spider-Man is Peter Parker. The man behind the phone is Smith. And he has Dr. Connors. Smythe is shifting the blame towards Connors, but allowing him back into Oscorp for reasons. So we head back to Oscorp, and we're following Smythe and Connors in secret. We help Connors escape from his hologram cell, and as we make it to the escape, we get jumped by a robot. Smythe reveals his true plan was to get Spider-Man and test his serum on him. So now, we don't have our spider powers. For whatever reason, Smythe lets us go. So now we have to escape Oscorp without powers. And this is my least favorite part of this game. After some long trial and error, we finally escape the Oscorp Tower. Connor asks us to meet him underground to finish the antidote. We get to the sewers of Manhattan, and after sneaking past the Ninja Turtles, we meet up with Gwen. Passing out from fatigue, we wake up to see Dr. Connors planning to use the lizard serum to stop Smythe. Gwen is against the idea because we know that the lizard will take over Connors' mind. He uses the serum anyway, and he makes his way out to Smythe. Spider-Man regains consciousness, and now it's up to us to help out Connors. We get picked up by a news helicopter and they take us to the battlefield.
It's gonna sound strange, but if you let the robots hit you with just enough electricity, it might fry the nanobots in your system.
Are you serious?
You want your powers back, right? Try it!
We're not Miles Morales. We get our powers back and we fight alongside Lizard. Before we take apart Smythe's suit, Connor loses control and attacks us. He then runs away as we get Smythe away from the mech and into police custody. We see the Lizard head into the sewers and we chase after him. We solve some sewer puzzles and eventually make it back to the lab where Gwen is. She's being attacked by lizard people as she tries to fix the spider bot to help Spider-Man. She eventually fixes it and gives us the cure for the lizard. We fly on the robot to chase after the lizard again. Well, that was a waste of a level. So begins our final boss battle with the lizard. Probably one of the easiest bosses in my opinion. You just dodge, web retreat, let him grab you, then web rush him into stunning him, then dig up the robot for the lizard cure. The second phase is trying to punch the lizard off these little platforms. We then stop the lizard and give him the cure, turning him back into Dr. Connors. We then end the game with Spider-Man and Gwen watching the news, as they recognize Spider-Man for saving the city. Then the game ends happily.
Live like that. I am in control. In control.
Wait, is that a post-credit scene? Are y'all allowed to do that? And that's the main story of The Amazing Spider-Man for the 3DS. I was surprised by how compressed this game was from the other versions, yet it remained to keep a decent amount of its original content. Some scenes were toned down a bit, including some character designs. The gameplay would either feel satisfying, such as the combat, or extremely clunky, such as the movement, especially with the platforming level. It was frustrating trying to get Spider-Man to just walk on the already thin railing. If you jump on top of it, he would struggle to stay on, or just completely fall off. As for the combat is fairly simple. You just spam Y until you're given the option for a signature move, which is a stylish finisher. However, this takes like 10 to 12 hits on one enemy, while having to deal with other enemies trying to hit you during your combo, so you have to constantly dodge. With Web Rush, you can fly across the room to get places faster, or get to glowing icons around the area that either help you solve puzzles, use stealth takedowns, or web rush enemies. With the setup of the controls, the dodge button is on the touchscreen, and honestly, I kinda wish they just made the dodge button a physical button. Since this game didn't have a free roam feature, you're given a hub area where you can replay story missions or play side missions. The side missions are challenges such as only using stealth takedowns, defeating enemies before time runs out, or surviving until time runs out. There's another mode called Vigilante mode, and if I'm being honest, I barely understand the point of it, so I didn't play it but once. Also, I wasn't able to confirm this, but as far as different suits, you can unlock the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man suit and the symbiote suit by completing the Vigilante mode. So yeah, I didn't get those suits. In extras, you can view the collectibles you find from your playthrough, everything from audio files to character bios and concept art for the game. I wish they had a soundtrack section though, because the music in this game is really good. Spider-Man is a great experience to have on the 3DS. Despite the drawbacks this version came with, it was a fun game to play. Some improvements to the game can always be made, but all in all, this was a pretty decent game at the time. It's definitely better than its sequel counterpart.